In this simple demonstration, we're going to create assembly constraint to this data set. We have piston, connecting rod, and piston pin. So one of them is fixed. So in this, we see that the piston is fixed. We want to go in under assembly constraints, and then we want to select the aligned. So we see that as we drag onto it, we can move geometry, and then we want to go ahead and create a line center axis. Once that is done, we can still move geometry, or one of the component still has other degrees of freedom. Next thing we want to do, we want to apply. That basically locks in our first selection option. We want to go to center, subtype 2 to 2, and then grab onto the center axis, and then has to grab onto planar faces to create 2 to 2. So now we can see how this connecting rod is rocking within the piston. The next thing we want to do is just create a piston pin. So this likewise, once we put it in, we can move that, and then we want to go ahead and apply that first, so that locks it in our first selection. Next thing we want to do is we want, once again, use center, planar, face to planar face of the pin, and then inside of the piston there's a couple of planar faces as well. So that centers it. See, now that is done, we apply it. The last thing we want to do is take a look and go back and look at the requirement. In this case, is asking us to create that 20-degree angle. So let's go take a look how we can do that. We're going to use our angle option, and then grab onto one of the edge face, and then grab onto our Datum Axis. Once that is done, we can move that along and then make sure we get it to there. Sometimes we get it right on 21, just go ahead and type it in just to make sure that is correct. So once that is done, we go ahead and lock it in. Right, now that's done, let's go back. It says calculate center mass in all the different. So in the certification, we typically only going to ask for one of the volume or one of the value. So in this case, we want to go in there, once again, using measure. We want to use object set, change our selection filter to solid body. So we can pick on all these, or we can use rectangular selecting this. Once that is done, we see that the center and mass information is listed. Thank you.